I want to talk about the start of 2020, the start of January, a whole new decade for those of us who consider 2020 to be the beginning of the decade and not the end of the decade. There are two pieces of news that people are talking a lot about. Those are, tensions in the Middle East after the United States of America president ordered the killing of a high general from Iran in Iraq. 2003 flashback much? Yes. And then, of course, the fires in Australia. And I was watching a little clip from Channel 7, I think it was, where they talk to people about koalas and the instinct that a koala has to escape danger, which is to climb up trees, which is basically a death trap when it comes to the eucalyptus trees and the oil within it. And it's just, 7 months ago, I was down there, I was in Australia, I was back in Australia, and I held a koala. I held a fuzzy, furry, beautiful little piece of wonderful koala in my hand, and it's the amount of suffering when it comes to the wildlife as well as humans, houses burned down, the people fighting the fire and are killed by fire in so many different places throughout Australia, and it's just heartbreaking to see it. And it just feels like the beginning of this year has been crap, just so much crap. But then you see the amount of outpour from people, even on a place like Facebook, which is normally a place infested with the most negative parts of the human ability to be vile. You see the outpour, and you see people giving donations, you see people spreading the news and really putting the focus on what's happening down there, and to make sure that the news of the fires in Australia is not just something that was like the top story on New Year's Eve, will they fire rockets or not, and maybe New Year's Day and on, but keep telling it. Just because it's not new anymore doesn't mean it's not relevant. And let's not get started on the tensions in the Middle East. And then you look forward to the Iowa caucus in the beginning of February, and you think, maybe there is hope. Maybe there is hope. Let there be hope. But what I want to say with this video is that there is so much bad things happening in the world. Take the time to actually see something that isn't bad. Maybe look at a couple of Yes Theory videos to give the hope back to humanity that there is good. There is good things happening in the world. Don't focus on just the negative, because that's normally what news does, sadly. Of course, we have to focus on the terrible things that are happening in Australia and the very unknown thing that is happening in the Middle Eastern region, a place I also visited quite recently, although Dubai is probably one of the most safe places, but it's still in the smack of things down there. And let's just hope that we can encourage each other to be better people, and to see other people and see the suffering and lend out a hand, lend out a few cents, a few dollars, a few crowns, a few euros, a few sterling pounds, whatever you have, and just be better. Let's just be better as people than what the news are currently telling us that the state of the world is in. Good talk.